want to share with you a notebook that I was working on for this demonstrate this tool. So I've taken some different things from U.S. History, topic 7.1. So we have their guided reading Google form, the PowerPoint that goes with it, and then there's this YouTube video that was linked as well. So I took in these sources right here, and NotebookLM is starting to synthesize some of the information that's in these sources, as well as like just an overview of what we're going to find in here. So this could be helpful just to give this to students, just to let them know, hey, this is what we're kind of doing here. One thing that you can do is you can create audio overviews. You could create your own slide decks from here, have it automatically create a video, mind map, different types of reports, flashcards, quiz, an infographic, and a data table. And you can just type in some stuff here that you want it to create as well. You can see that I've made a few of these things right here already. One thing that I do want to show you, want to highlight, this is an example of a podcast right here. So I gave the prompt to generate an audio overview on this and kind of gave it specific things that they should debate and make sure that they mention some specific thing. And this ended up being about a 15-minute podcast. So I could definitely download this and give this to students, or we can do stuff in class where we're listening. And there's this interactive mode here in which we can interrupt the podcast and ask questions. So I'm just going to play this really quickly for you.
Sent investigators directly into factories.
Just documenting the horrifying conditions, which perfectly leads into the next pillar, right? Because you couldn't fix social welfare without exposing the economic abuses happening in these places.
Exactly, which drives us to the third goal, economic reform.
And the people who literally forced America to look in the mirror.
So as you can see, right, they're discussing some of this stuff, and it sounds pretty realistic, right? They're even putting in some of those nuances that you would find in a podcast with the and kind of the, stuff like this where we're thinking about what we're going to say. So it becomes more conversational like, and that can be a way for students who need to listen to information be able to retain it better. And you can certainly create for yourself some different things that you would want to go with that, right? Like you can go in here and create some study guides or different things with that. So what I ended up doing is I downloaded this and popped it right back into my notebook so that it's using this as a source. And I could just select it right here and just say, hey, make a study guide based on this, or an outline based on this podcast. Another thing that you can do is you could do an explainer video. So I'm going to view the prompt right here. Here's the prompt that I gave to it right here. Okay. And when you're doing these video overviews, you could do different styles that you want. Like, right, maybe you want a whiteboard video where they're kind of like drawing some things and showing things in motion. Maybe you want, you have students who enjoy anime and you want to do it in that style. There's a lot of different things that you could do, and you can have it be more detailed or just very brief. So let's take a quick look at our explainer video.
All right, let's get into it. We're going to be talking about the progressive movement, a really huge period of reform in American history that honestly changed everything.
So picture this. It's the turn of the 20th century, and America has some major problems. I mean, thanks to rapid industrialization, you've got incredibly unsafe working conditions, this massive gap between the super rich and the dirt poor, and politics that were just, totally corrupt. So what do? Well, a group of reformers, who we now call progressives, decided they weren't just going to sit back. They had this core belief that you could fix society's problems using new ideas, a bit of science, and really importantly, government action. So the big question is...
All right, and so we could see there's different things where it's going through those different parts right here, highlighting things that I want them to highlight. And again, as I'm doing this, I can give my students some guided notes, right? So that they're watching this and there's certain things that they're filling out, notes that they're taking, probably on a hard copy, right? Writing them down. So that's our video overview as well. Some other things, let's see, I created a blog post right here. So changing the way that this information is structured and making it more blog posts like. We could see that right there. And again, we could take this source, both these sources I downloaded and put them back in here so that I can generate other tools for those. But one of the things that I really love as well is the infographic. So let's see, this one, power to the people and power to the experts. Okay, so I wanted that to be the topic right here. And so it created this infographic right here, okay, where we could see the two things right here, and we have our two different sections right here. We have some data right here. So it does a pretty good job. You'll probably notice like some typos in here. There's going to be a few of those, but overall the text is done really well. Let's check out this one. So this one I did in that anime style. All right, so I had it broken up into things, and now you can see like there's more of an anime type style that some students might be more interested in. And I did one more just in a regular style, right? So it's similar to what the anime was, but just kind of in a different style right here. So those are helpful things where I could take my high level information, get it synthesized into a visual so that I can provide that as a resource for students as well. Here's an example of a briefing doc, okay, of everything right there. I can create different summaries of the stuff in here. And I can also create a study guide as well. So maybe I do have students who are more interested in just, reading some of my original sources. And maybe these are the things that I want them to be able to answer right here. So you have a variety of tools right here. And for our high school students, you are able to share this out to other people, right? So you could give access to your students so that they could use this as a resource for studying. So you can give them, if they're going to be able to look at all the resources right here, or if they're only going to be able to chat with the thing and they're not going to be able to access all the stuff that you have right here. So it could be a great way to like build out a tool for your students to prepare for a unit test, giving them some of that power as well, rather than it just being you having the power. You can give that power to them to enhance their own learning.